afternoon to you guys. Happy Monday, October 28th, 2024. Appreciate y'all for watching this. It's been a while since I've made an official video for you guys. We've been pretty quiet over the last week to a week and a half. Not really had anything going on. We are going to be talking about the tropics here, just slight briefly, not expecting anything too crazy right now. We're going to be morely talking about the severe weather as we go through the next 2 days here as well into next week and then the following coming weeks. So I'm going to try not to make this video super long for you guys, but we'll go ahead and talk about this. We are going to be doing a live stream later on this afternoon as well. Once again, I'm sorry, I know it's 3:30 this afternoon as I'm recording this, so we're already into the late afternoon hours here, so I'll probably be getting on live stream as you guys are watching this, so do come in, ask questions. We'll be talking about things that are going to be happening this week, but I want to go ahead and jump into the tropics here with you guys. We do have a tropical development chance. This was actually a 20 and a 30% chance here over the last 2 to 3 days. This isn't new. This has been here for a couple days, but we're starting to see that number go up. We have a 40% chance of a tropical cyclone developing here in the southern Caribbean Sea over the next 7 days. We are expecting this to more than likely eventually become a named storm over the next couple of days, probably by, I would say, Saturday or Sunday, maybe a little bit sooner than that potentially, but we'll put that X there. This is where we're seeing that development at. Not seeing really anything too crazy right now with convection. Now, there's a lot of talk about, is this going to go to the United States? Is this going to go to Florida? I'm going to tell you guys right now, a lot of the models, a lot of the ensembles have really backed off on this and actually have this storm developing here in the Caribbean Sea and kind of working its way into portions of the Puerto Rico area, into portions of Cuba, or into the Bahamas here, and kind of just hovering off the coast of the Bahamas or in the Bahamas, once again, kind of like Oscar did, and staying away from Florida. This would bring some wave impacts and some rainfall to the eastern side of Florida, and we'll get into that as we get closer to this event happening. But for my people that think this is going to go into the Gulf, there's like 1 or 2 models that show this. I'm really not far-fetched on the idea of that happening. So I think we can cross that off the list as of right now. If we start to see something that changes, we'll let you guys know. But as of right now, a lot of the model guidance, the GFS, the European, a lot of the ensembles, the Icon, the Grad, a lot of these are pulling this thing away from the United States as of right now. So that's some super good news. Hopefully we'll steer right of this and we won't see anything tropically related for the rest of the year. That would be super nice. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Once again, 40% chance of development in the next 7 days, long-term wise, not short-term wise. We'll keep you guys mindful on that. Overall big picture here, not seeing anything else developing. We have 2 areas to watch over here in the Pacific Ocean. These would be more than likely going towards Hawaii, and if that becomes a thing, we'll talk more about that. On your screen here, this is what is our first severe weather risk in quite some time, guys. We haven't had the conversation about severe weather in a while. It's been a pretty less active side of things. We really haven't had any significant severe weather outbreaks in about a month and a half to 2 months. So just coming to the idea that we're going to be probably seeing that especially as we go through the month of November here, as we're transitioning and battling seasons. A lot of the times throughout these, the fall transition to winter, you'll get that warm, moist air coming in from the Gulf, cold air trying to come down. These cold Arctic systems will come down. You typically get severe weather that sets up somewhere in these areas, kind of vice versa. So just be very mindful of that. We don't have any severe weather today, so that's a good thing. Tomorrow we'll start to jump the gun here for severe weather. Now, tomorrow is a highly conditional day. This is the risk zone for Tuesday, October 29th. We have a marginal level 1 risk out of 5 here from portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, into South Dakota, Texas, or not Texas, Oklahoma, eastern Texas here, and Kansas. And this is once again a marginal risk out of a level 1 out of 5. So we're expecting a low and severe weather risk. I don't know if we'll go live for this tomorrow. We might. We're really going to be going live more for Wednesday, because Wednesday will be more of a significant event for you guys. Might even go into the overnight hours on Wednesday, but we could see occasional wind or hail severe threat tomorrow for you guys there on Tuesday. If there's anything that does develop, it's probably going to be up here near the low. I'm not expecting anything too crazy with this. If this were to, evolve into something and we get the cap to break, or we get more instability, or we get more lifting, or whatever it is, vice versa for tomorrow's setup, we will go live for this, but just kind of be mindful. There is a chance for severe weather, wind and hail for these areas. Not really expecting a tornado risk tomorrow. Just be very mindful of that. Now, if we go to Wednesday is going to be the big day. We actually had a risk zone put out by the Storm Prediction Center on a day 4 outlook, and this is a couple days ago here. Actually, yesterday we had the day 4. This is now a day 3 outlook, or a day 2 outlook now, but we are going to be looking at the chance here for severe weather on Wednesday, and this is going to be a pretty big area. This is probably the biggest blob of severe weather we've seen in quite some time. So Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin here in eastern Minnesota, level 1 and level 2 risk out of 5. Right now, level 1 in the green, level 2 in the yellow out of 5. That's marginal. It goes marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, high. We're looking at a marginal and a slight for you guys on Wednesday. If confidence were to increase, I wouldn't be surprised if a small enhanced risk were to be issued, possibly for Kansas or Oklahoma, with an isolated supercell threat. A couple tornadoes will also be possible in these areas. We'll have a pretty big broad low-level shear environment for tornadoes to form if they were to stay discrete. And that's going to be the biggest thing. How strong is the instability going to be? We're going to have moisture. We're going to have enough dew points. The dew points are going to be well into the mid upper 50s and 60s. So we'll have enough moisture. We'll have enough shear. We're lacking the instability. So if we don't get a lot of instability and the atmosphere doesn't turn over or the cap doesn't break on Wednesday, basically a cap is a temperature inversion. If we don't get through the icky part of this, we may not see anything out of this, and that would be the best case scenario. But we are expecting storms to fire off with the unstable conditions that will be favorable. I'm really eyeing more down here towards the Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas area where we'll have that low pressure off to the north. It's a little bit of a weird system. We get these lows that come off the Rockies. They typically produce east of the low. This one's actually going to be producing south of the low because of where the shear is placed out and where the maximized of instability and moisture is going to be at. There's actually a high pressure system that's going to be in place up here to the north, which is keeping that instability or that cape from rising so far north, which would typically include to more of a bigger severe weather event up here in the Midwest and Central Plains. But because of that but that instability staying further south, we'll have more of a confined area over Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, and into Arkansas. Now, if anything does get going up here, be mindful of that up here into portions of Iowa, Illinois overnight. This will be an overnight event too. We'll have storms kind of initiate up here in the north sector. This will be sector 1 around 3-4 o'clock on Wednesday, and then the other storms will wait a little bit later, probably till about sunset, and then these will be the ones that last longer, potentially tracking into Arkansas, Missouri, overnight and into Illinois here. So we'll be mindful of that. We will be live on Wednesday for you guys, giving y'all coverage. Me and Rochelle will be tag teaming this more than likely together, so be very, very mindful of that. We've also got the threat for possibly some severe weather, maybe up here in the Kentucky, Ohio Valley, lower areas on Thursday for Halloween, but I wouldn't kind of rule that out right now just because of how much will be left over, how much instability are we going to have in place. So the biggest thing with instability this time of the year, it doesn't take a lot to have storms go fire or be severe, but we need enough to have storms be severe. So that's going to be the thing that we're going to be battling. I'll have more of a time update on this and what the radar is going to look like in tomorrow's video and in tonight on stream. So make sure y'all come in and pay attention to that tomorrow and as well as tonight, and I'll have that time frame for you. The models haven't quite grasped yet on what this is going to look like. So we'll have more of an update for you guys on that later on. Now, here's what we're going to be looking at. This is the latest GFS run for you guys here around lunchtime. You can see that low moving across the Rockies here. That's why I said Tuesday doesn't look like much. If we get anything on Tuesday, it's going to be a late initiation period to the southeast of the low. We'll have some snow showers ongoing here in the Rockies up here into Wyoming. And then on Wednesday is the magic hour. That's when we start to see storms fire off after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock here. And you can see that low to the north. Severe gradient's actually going to be further down to the south here. You'll get a lot of rain up there into Wisconsin, Iowa, and into portions of northern Missouri there. But severe might be a little bit lacking depending on where, like I said, that instability is at. As this cold front approaches east, we'll see snow showers develop behind us into portions of Wisconsin. Rain will move through the Ohio Valley. Like I said, possibly a low-end severe weather risk potentially along this cold front on Thursday. We'll keep you guys updated on that. And then that system exits the country and we're done with that. But already getting to the weekend here on Saturday and Sunday, we're watching another trough, and this is going to be a pretty big trough potentially coming through next week. I think next week's severe weather event is going to be a lot worse than what this one's going to be, just kind of looking at what the models are showing. But very cold air already entering the country here on the West Pacific side. We return back to the 70s and 60s, some 50s here for portions of the central and northern Ohio valleys. But with those battles of the temperatures, we're going to get another load that comes off the Rockies here and potentially a bigger severe weather setup maybe as we go towards Sunday through next Wednesday on the 11:03 November timeframe through November 5th and 6th and 7th. So be mindful of that's a little bit of ways out. We'll keep you guys updated on this, but this one looks to be more materialized, especially as we go through Sunday and Monday of next week. And it's really technically Sunday and Monday of this week, but the following week. So be very, very mindful of that. Cold air snow going to become more of a thing as well, watching that cold air developing on the backside of the system. Coming up next week, and then like I said, the snow showers will kind of ride that low up to the north side and into the Wisconsin area and Minnesota area before turning back to the Canada area. So not expecting any big snowstorms for anybody, at least for the next 2 weeks. We'll be watching that tropical system. Like I said, you can't even see that tropical system interacting with Florida really anymore. The models have got this thing so pushed out to the east that we may not even see anything close to the United States anymore, which would be great news. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. I do want to show you guys what the trough looks like, just so for my meteorology nerds or anybody that watches this, it's in for the terminology. This is what things look like. Here's our trough, what we call an amplified trough ejection. This is more of a positively tilted trough, so this is why it's not bringing too much severe weather, but it will be enough to cause issues. You can see the jet stream here right along where that southeastern quadrant is, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. On Wednesday will be where we see that bigger severe weather threat. The shear will be maxed out. You'll have a low-level jet right around 60-ish, maybe 65, 70 knots in some areas. So be very mindful of that. That low will transition to the north, and then that system gets kicked out, and then we have another little trough that comes through, and this one, like I said, I mean, this is Gonna be very, very interesting next week, guys. We've really got to watch this. Anytime I see these amplified troughs, mega trough ejections that come through like this, these typically do produce pretty big, significant, severe weather outbreaks. So for anybody that has plans for the first week of November and next week, not this week, but the next week, about 7 days, 8 days from now, we got to watch this because this could cause a lot of problems for a lot of people if this actually does continue to trend. You got an upper level jet, mid level jet pushing 100 to 130 knots, which is right over top of the Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota area. So be very, very mindful of that. That'll exit the country. And then past that, we can see multiple disturbances potentially coming through. I mean, it's going to be, guys, the next 20 plus days, at least as of right now, looks to be super active with the threat for some significant, if not dangerous, severe weather going down the road. So if you guys watch this, send this out to a loved one, send this out to your family members. Make sure we run over our severe weather preparedness plans with you guys. I'm actually going to get on stream later on this afternoon, like I said at the beginning of the video, and do some tips for you guys, give you guys some more up-to-date information, some real-time things, kind of walk you guys through this. We'll get some new model runs here in about 30 to 45 minutes as well. But other than that, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Be safe, be weather aware. We will see you guys on the stream tonight. If I don't see you on the stream tonight, I'll see you guys in tomorrow morning's video as well as the stream tomorrow. Be safe, guys, be weather aware, and I will see you guys in the next one.